Hi. Welcome back to Marvel Live at New York Comic Con 2014, presented by Marvel Contest of Champions from Kabam. I'm Ryan Penagos, aka Marvel's Agent M.
I'm Marvel.com editor Ben Morse, and we have the distinct pleasure of having with us one of my favorite people in the whole world, seriously, on the planet, and one of the best artists we got going. Back at Marvel, I'm so excited, Nightcrawler's own Todd Nauck.
Hey there, guys.
Now, you like that intro?
I love it. You read it just the way I
Seriously
wrote
though, Todd and I haven't seen each other in a year. Todd is one of my favorite people in comics, and I missed him at New York last year, missed him at San Diego this year, so I am really thrilled to see you.
What's wrong
Reunited.
with you?
What?
He's easy to find.
I
dude.
love Todd. I wasn't at San Diego with you. Do you forget this?
Yes. Totally.
But anyways, Todd, you're back at Marvel.
Yes.
You're drawing Nightcrawler.
And I'm loving every minute of it.
How's it going?
It's fantastic. Issue 7, our Death of Wolverine tie-in issue came out
this week.
yesterday.
Yeah.
And my Twitter feed's blowing up with positive comments.
Ryan and I did a live podcast last night. We talked about Nightcrawler. We actually paid specific attention to the splash page you did. They had the homage to like 5 different artists.
Yes.
Was that in the script, or was that you? Like,
That was me.
Okay.
That was me.
So that was just you came up with that.
The plot said,
It seemed knockish.
a lot of Wolverine's friends throughout the ages and some classic scenes. So I picked some of my favorite classic scenes, like when Wolverine and Nightcrawler are getting a drink while Colossus and Juggernaut are fighting in the back from Uncanny 183. I grabbed that image. Lady Mariko, I had to work her into that. The Nightcrawler Wolverine hug from Amazing X-Men 4 in Hell. That one was put in the plot, so I put that one in because of the writer. But
now you had him on the X, the Mark
oh
Silvestri
yes,
deal.
that was I thought a
awesome.
classic image, so I had.
It was cool though, because it wasn't your usual straight homage where it's just like this is a splash page after splash page. You worked little scenes around it. I thought that was very cool.
Yeah, and I tried to touch on a lot of different characters throughout the history, at least from the 80s on up, because that's when I started reading comics. So that's kind of my wheelhouse.
Well, also know you're a huge X-Men fan in addition to working on it. So I know you like Nightcrawler. You've already gotten to draw so many of the characters, but that must have been great this issue getting to draw even more. Was there other people you specifically wanted to make sure you get in there?
Kitty Pryde.
Yeah.
Kitty Pryde is one of my favorite characters, and my favorite bit was doing the double-page spread of the Mutant Massacre in the Morlocks tunnel there, because that's when I started reading comics, was during that crossover. So getting to recreate that scene, that fight scene, in the classic 80s kind of new wave costumes, and everyone torn up with the Marauders there was I got to frame the original art and put that up in the house. I just loved doing that because that meant so much to me.
You know, great man. Ryan's over here on the Twitter machine.
We got
to let
some.
you guys know that you can use the hashtag MarvelNYCC, questions for Todd, questions just in life, he'll answer them. What we got so far?
So Robert Andreg, whose avatar is Nightcrawler, like dressed up as Nightcrawler, says, what is the most rewarding part about working with Chris Claremont and drawing an iconic character such as Nightcrawler?
Well, Chris Claremont was the first writer I read regularly when I started collecting comics as a kid. So it's kind of that, it's like a creator kind of fanboy / femboy dream kind of comes true to work with a legend like Chris. And he writes Marvel style now. I guess people always said, people would say, oh, you're working with Chris Claremont. I hear his plots are really dense.
Yeah.
Well, now he writes Marvel style, so I get a lot of freedom to really interject my storytelling sensibilities and my
really collaborate
history.
As well.
Exactly, history of knowing the X-Men, how these characters interact, just from a fan side as well as a professional side. So it really has been a lot of fun, and Chris has been very kind and complimentary of my work. And Nightcrawler, he's one of my top 5 X-Men since I was a kid.
I was gonna say, how much are you directly collaborating with Chris? Like, have you gotten to communicate with him a lot?
Yeah, we met for the first time in person at the Phoenix Comic Con, and he actually sought me out to my table, which I thought was really cool because I figured I'd have to track him down. And we went out to dinner that night with Wolverine creator Len Wein, and it was like, oh my gosh, yeah. And they're talking about old times, like who broke into the industry first. And they're throwing out these dates. It's like I wasn't even born yet. Yeah. Should I mention that, or should I keep that to myself? No, I played it cool. I was like, back in 1968. So it was really trippy, but it's been a great experience so far, and looking forward to continuing with this future issues of Nightcrawler.
It's just wild. What's we got, Ryan?
We've got Aaron Clifford, who says he wants to know, is Nightcrawler going to have more of the man of the cloth angle or more of the swashbuckling sort of guy?
We probably err more on the side of the swashbuckling. This is really a kind of a high action, fun adventure type of comic, but we do give nods to him being a man of faith. So in issue 5 or 6, we see him with his rosary saying a quick prayer before going to find out what he's going to do at the Jean Grey School.
Right.
We have another here where he, Genuflex does the sign of the cross on himself before fighting that issue.
Thank you for demonstrating.
Oh, well, you know, not
it's a visual. This is a visual show.
Hey, I'm all about visuals. You know, I would have drawn it, but you know, I don't have so much time. So we do address that he is a man of faith, but it's really swashbuckling as well.
It's not a plot driver, but it's definitely part of the character.
Exactly. So we don't ignore that. We do address it, but we really want to keep the fun or the action really upbeat and lively.
Absolutely. We got more over here.
Well, we did Mavi Avila. Was really excited. Just said they were waiting to watch you on the show.
Oh, I hope you're not disappointed.
How could anyone be disappointed?
Michael W.S. wants to know, did you have your own creative vision when starting out doing Nightcrawler? Like something you really specifically wanted to get to?
Well, I'm not quite sure if I understand the question exactly. Like when Nick Lowe and Daniel Ketchum, the editors, contacted me about doing the book, being a longtime Nightcrawler fan, I wanted to capture the classic look from the Dave Cockman era up through the 80s into the Alan Davis Excalibur era. So John Byrne, Paul Smith, capture that classic flavor and then put my current flavor on top of that to try to create something that walks that line that people recognize, but still something kind of new, and put my own spin. That I could be one of those Nightcrawler classic artists.
Totally.
Yeah, someday someone's gonna be doing Todd Nauck homages.
I can only hope.
And you'll just be collecting the checks.
Yeah, especially at Artistalia. It's like, where's my residual there?
You're like, yeah, great homage. Give me the cash.
Come on.
Business. Rory M. Adams says, I love Nightcrawler so much. It's been my favorite forever. Do you enjoy drawing the Bamfs? They're really cute.
Oh, yeah.
I do. And I kind of aired more towards the Ed McGuinness style Bamfs from Amazing X-Men, the kind of little chubbier, cherubic ones as opposed to the skinnier, tattooed ones. Yeah. So, and especially with Nightcrawler kind of spinning out of Amazing X-Men 1 through 5, I wanted it to kind of have that consistent look to it. So, Bamfs are a lot of fun to draw, and Chris makes sure to work them in every issue.
Very cool.
That's great. Sophia asks, can you give us any advice for folks who want to start drawing comics?
Draw every day.
Yeah.
Draw as much as possible. Check out the book, How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much every pro I know has that book. I'm not just plugging that here because of Marvel, but it is a great book. Oh, hey, you know.
Has it been in print? I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a copy, but
I remember reading it as a kid.
Yeah.
I assumed it was still in print. If not, look on eBay. Or Amazon. It's a really a great instructional book. It's
awesome.
I mean, I don't know a pro that doesn't use it. Hasn't used that book when they're trying to start out. But really, a lot of it is trial and error.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I did it.
Get the experience.
Just the more you do it, the more you're going to learn. You got to put those hours of practice in. Study life drawing, study perspective, learn how to draw buildings and stuff. That'll come in handy big time.
Well, listen, guys, the newest issue of Nightcrawler is out this week, issue number 7. It's a Death of Wolverine tie-in. Todd, you're online at Todd Nauck. Anywhere else you want to plug online?
ToddNauck.com links you to all my other social network: Instagram, YouTube, Tumblr.
And if
Are you on Elo? Are you on Elo?
Except for that one.
I have Elo. I can give you an invite. I do.
You do?
Lorraine invited me.
Wow.
Let's talk about this off
I
air.
am excited
Anyways,
for you.
Todd, thank you for stopping by. If you were at New York Comic Con, come visit us at Artist Alley booth. We are going to be right back with more exciting stuff here on Marvel Live here at New York Comic Con 2014, sponsored by Marvel Contest of Champions from Kabam.
Kabam.